Yeah. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies with Nerdist New Bully. I'm your host, Leroy, aka Roscoe P. Coltrane, with my co-host.
Yeah, this is Eli, aka Luscious Jackson.
I had to stop you before you got started, Eli, because YouTube sent me a notice saying we can't curse within the first 30 seconds of the show.
Oh, within the first 30 seconds?
No F-bombs in the first 30 seconds of the show. After that, we can let it fly. Not just with us, just with, I think it's a
wait. Let's wait.
Yeah, let's wait. Jeopardy theme song. Just so we don't get flagged by accident. Oh man, rest in peace, Alex Trebek. So yeah, like I said, this show is going to be a very mediocre and bad show. You know why? It's going to be a very uneventful show because this has been a very uneventful week.
I guess you can't sell them on that. No, this is the best show ever, man.
No, let's be realistic. No, let's be realistic.
Believe.
No, Naruto. No, not Tabeyo. Believe this. No, it's going to be a mediocre show, but that's a good thing because this is 2020. When the first time we ever had a slow week in 2020?
I suppose.
This is time to celebrate. This time to just relax, kick back, get a Bud Light. We should have had some beers and crank that shit up or something like that.
Well, I got my orange soda, so
yeah.
Oh, you don't like orange soda? One of the many cool things.
No. I like orange soda. I know every time you bring up shit, I hate everything. I like orange soda.
You like orange soda?
Only because that old Keenan and Kel sketch. Who likes orange soda? Anyway, never mind. But the point is, it's an uneventful week because nothing happened. But at the same time, Eli, I feel like I'm in that horror movie or any horror movie when you say it's quiet, too quiet.
Oh.
The calm before the storm. The calm before the storm, exactly. I feel like some real shit is about to go down. I mean, like 2020 is going to end with a grand finale. Oh man! But anyway, let's talk about some real science nerd news that happened today. I'm not going to talk long about it, but I do want to talk about SpaceX. SpaceX was a success. So SpaceX is actually a real thing.
Okay.
It is actually started by Elon Musk. He started a thing. He's had 4 astronauts that's going out in space. They're going to the International Space Station. Seems pretty cool. Eli, I want to get your opinion on the spacesuits. What do you think? I mean, it's 2020. You think I think the ones back in the 60s look better.
Oh, I was saying they look like spacesuits to me. I mean,
but they just
camo,
look like
you want like the Wu-Tang symbol or something.
I want like some Avengers shit, man. Look at that, man. I want to be. You want Elon Musk think he's Tony Stark? Why don't he become Tony Stark? Dress him up like the Avengers. Not this frumpy looking shit like this. You're gonna make me look sexy going into space. Not this shit.
I want a purple spacesuit.
Something, make me stand out. Anyway, pretty successful shit. The reason this is a big deal that's going on right now because this is, I think, because Elon Musk started this company. So what he's trying to do is like commercial flights to space. Mm-hmm. This isn't the first one. Well, this is the first one of his company, but right now he has a partnership deal with NASA. But once the partnership deal is done, he can fly anybody to space, anybody he feels like. So this is just like a test run right now. They're sending these 4 people up to space, 3 Americans, 1 Japanese. Send them to space. They're going to be up there for 6 months. Boom. And then they're going to come back.
That's a while, man.
That is a while going up there. So, what's the weird thing? Like I said, you've watched enough horror movies. What if one of them got COVID going up there? And didn't tell anybody. And then 6 months.
And then like somehow like they go into space and the radiation aurora borealis
it mutates in the space COVID.
Yeah, space COVID, and it's like some big giant alien creature. That would be awesome.
Right, and Chase. I feel like the Japanese would go first. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about. The main thing, what we need the point of this is that the Earth is not flat. That's what you need to know. So if you don't believe it, call Elon Musk. He will fly your ass out to space. Boom. There you go. Speaking of space, let's just stick with space. Let's stick with stars.
Stars. Okay.
Yeah, because this is your wheel. Now, I won't say this is your wheelhouse, Eli, even though it is your wheelhouse, but it's our wheelhouse. But it's like your wheelhouse. This is your baby.
I really dug on this episode.
Yeah. So let's talk about Mando. This is Mando episode 3. Like, I know we like to joke around, call it the Baby Yoda show, but for the most part, it's been Mando. For the first season. I mean, for the first part of this season, even though we know Baby Yoda is going to be center stage later on, but right now, Mando is the deal. So, Eli, break down to me, what did I miss in this episode? Because I know it's a whole bunch of shit that I missed.
Okay, well, let's break down the episode. Episode 3 of season 2. What was it called? The Heiress or something?
The Heiress, right?
Referring to Bo-Katan. So yes, where to start? So recap of the episode: Mando got to this planet that has Mon Calamari and other race of aliens. Okay. I'm not gonna get that deep.
Get your thoughts.
Yeah. Mando for dummies. I'll do that one.
Use your words.
Yeah. So Mando gets to the planet to deliver the frog lady and her eggs to her husband. And
the ones that Baby Yoda didn't eat.
Yeah, the ones that Baby Yoda didn't eat, which I thought was hilarious. I was laughing.
Twitter did not find it hilarious. Twitter was ready to cancel him.
Yeah, fucking Twitter. Quit acting like fucking Trump supporters, you pussies. It was fucking funny.
So triggered.
Yeah. Anyways, so he gets to the planet. Apparently, the frog lady's husband knows where more Mandos are. See, Mando is looking for other Mandalorians to help him get Baby Yoda to the Jedi. So they get there. The frog husband's like, yeah, there go. The Mandos are over there. So Mando jumps. They're on a water planet, hence the Mon Calamari. Mon Calamari is Admiral Akbar's race, the fish alien people. So they're on a boat. Now, while they're on the boat, another funny ass I thought was hilarious. They're like, hey, you ever see this monster eat? And Mando's like, no, well, check this out. And they're like, they open up this thing on the boat, and it's like monster fish is eating. And then they throw Baby Yoda in there, which I was like, oh shit.
But he knew that as instantly going in like riot mode, like the spaceship like wrapped over his head and stuff, so he couldn't be hurt. So
Mando jumps in to go after save Baby Yoda. Apparently it was a trap. It was a trap.
It's a trap.
They set him up. They want Mando's Beskar armor, But
you think they want the baby also, but
they don't know. Yeah, the Baby Yoda's probably worth just as much as his armor, or maybe even more if they knew. But Mando gets saved by a crew of Mandalorians show up, and right away I noticed the owl artwork on one of the helmets. I'm like, oh shit, is it her? Is it her? And then she takes off her helmet, and yes, it was Bo-Katan. So Bo-Katan is a character from the Clone Wars. She was also in Rebels, voiced by Katie Sackhoff, and she is also from Battlestar Galactica. And she also played her on the live action version is now also played by Katie Sackhoff, which I thought was really cool. So when I saw her, immediately, I immediately busted it up. I was like, oh shit, yeah, So,
I don't even watch Battlestar Galactica, but I just look like, hey, that's Starbuck. So like, whoever Starbuck is, I just know that's Starbuck. So
yeah. And for the Clone Wars, Bo-Katan has a big backstory on the Clone Wars. She was one of the main characters, during the whole Mandalorian siege and all that. So during the Clone Wars, I'm gonna get into some history now. During the Clone Wars show, Mandalore was sort of a neutral territory. They didn't want to have anything to do with the war that was going on. The Duchess, which was Bo-Katan's sister, she wanted Mandalores to be like a peaceful, modernized planet. But there was a faction of Mandalorians that wanted to bring them back to their old traditional warrior ways. They were called Death Watch. And that's where Bo-Katan was a part of. She wanted to bring Mandalore back to their glory days when they were badass warriors. A bunch of shit happens. Anyways, Death Watch, they were this faction of warriors. They get taken over by Darth Maul. Darth Maul and his crime organization.
He became a crime boss.
Yeah. He challenges Death Watch, for the Dark Saber. Now the Darksaber, whoever holds the Darksaber, they get to rule Mandalore. So you can challenge by combat or trial by combat. Darth Maul kicked the dude's ass and took over Death Watch. And Bo-Katan's like, okay, I don't recognize this fool. He's just a criminal. I don't recognize his rule. So she took off and started her own crew called the Night Owls. And that's why you see on her helmet, it looks like an owl face is on her helmet and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they were like another like a mercenary group of Mandalorians. They were on Rebels and the last season of Clone Wars too. So that's kind of the history of Bo-Katan. So on this show, Mando shows up and he's like, "Hey, you guys are Mandalorians," but right away they take off their helmets. He's like, "You guys ain't real
like that's not the way, right? I thought this was the way. This ain't the way."
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, you're one of those guys. You're one of the children of the Watch," and she's referring to Death Watch. So obviously, you know, in those flashbacks, we know that Mando was saved by a Mandalorian and raised in the Mandalorian ways,
right?
And that was essential to their survival, was hiding and being in the shadows and never taking off their mask.
Which is why he can't find any of them right now.
So Mando's like, "You ain't real Mandalorians," and I thought that was funny. And Bo-Katan's like, "Shit, shit, you know what?" It was just funny watching her kind of school him and shit. I thought that was cool.
Right. It was funny to me. Like I said, I know you know all the backstory behind it. I was just watching just as a show. And it freaked me the fuck out. The man like, whoa, what the hell y'all doing? Then when she started breaking it down, I'm like, okay, I get it now. It's like a religion where you got different, you know, sections this way, veers off that way. So yeah.
So basically, that planet that they're on, the reason why Bo-Katan's on that planet is because the criminals have raided Mandalore for all their weapons and stuff, and they're trying to get their weapons back. So she's like, "Hey, if you help me hijack this shipment of Mandalorian weapons, I'll help you take Baby Yoda to a Jedi." So that's where the episode happens. They go take over a ship. They kill a bunch of stormtroopers. It's really dope. A lot of cool action. Probably one of my favorite episodes so far. And then at the end was the big whopper when she says, "Yeah, okay, go to this planet. There's a Jedi named Ahsoka Tano." And again, I was like, "Ah!"
Okay. I honestly, it flew over my head because, like I said, I haven't watched any Clone Wars or anything like that. You know, when she just said a Jedi name, blah 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 blah, I'm like, okay, cool. You're gonna meet a Jedi, you know.
Yeah.
So
Ahsoka Tano,
that's the one that was trained by Anakin, right?
Yeah, Anakin's Padawan.
Okay,
very
cool.
crucial figure, crucial character to the Clone Wars series, and became a fan favorite. She is dope. She's one of the coolest Jedi so far. Of course, she left the Jedi. She got accused of a crime she didn't commit, and she left the Jedi Order. And
this before or after Order 66?
This is before Order 66.
Cool.
So towards the end of the 6th season, she leaves, and then you see her kind of doing dirt and grimy shit during the last season. And she ends up meeting Anakin and stuff. But, you know, like I said, she's a fan favorite. She was also on Rebels. And just excited. And we know that Rosario Dawson is playing her. So we're finally going to see a Clone Wars character like in live action form. Like Bo-Katan.
Right. I know a lot of people were freaking out about Bo-Katan. Like, oh, we see a live action version of that. So
So that's why, you know, those of us fans of the Clone Wars series and Rebels were really freaking out. Like, you know, we finally get to see these characters in the flesh, you know, which is really exciting. So I watched,
which is pretty cool because, like I said, it's the same showrunner on all those shows. You know, from what I've been hearing, was Dave Filoni, is that his name?
Yeah, Filoni. Yeah, he was.
So you got Clone Wars, Rebel, Mandalorian. So it's like he has his own canon within a canon, which I'm cool with. I got no problem with that. Like he's referencing to the shows that he had a hand in. So I have no problem with that. So he's building his own universe, which I like that. You know.
Yeah. Super excited to see where it goes. Of course, you know, Ahsoka technically isn't a Jedi since she left the Jedi Order, but she was trained as a Jedi all her life. This, we don't know. Who knows? Will they reference Luke? Will we see Luke in some form? This does, because technically, remember the timeline. This is after Return of the Jedi and before The Force Awakens. So this is right after Return of the Jedi, which means Kylo Ren and Rey, all those characters probably aren't even born yet. So technically the only Jedi that everybody knows of is Luke. So
I mean, he blew up the Death Star, so he's like a celebrity, so everybody would know him.
Will we see Luke in some form? I mean, who knows? Probably not, but it's good to, fan theories.
It'll probably just be reference. I want it to be like that video game I played one time, where I'm fighting as a Jedi. I learned how to play Jedi. Luke Skywalker just pops out of nowhere, kills everybody, and then he just like, all right, you need help, just let me know. And he like flies the fuck off. I'm like, what the fuck? This is like after Jedi where he like learns all that shit. He like fucking how we wanted him in The Last Jedi. He was like that in this video game, basically Super Saiyan Luke Skywalker, some shit,
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty cool.
And the fact that that Bo-Katan showed up, that leads to other characters, Sabine and a bunch of other Mandalorians that we've seen on the Clone Wars. And because at the end of Rebels, Bo-Katan had the Darksaber.
Mm-hmm.
So she's obviously looking for the light. She's remember at the end of this episode, she's like, yeah, I'm looking for something. I need to get it back. She's probably referring to the Darksaber, which Moff Gideon has. So
right. Well, you're talking about Bo-Katan, right?
Yeah. And
I thought she flat out said that's what she was looking for. The Darksaber.
So and Moff Gideon has it. So we don't know how remember there's the Purge. We have yet to see the Great Purge where Mandalorian got fucked up by the Empire. We haven't seen that portrayed in any form yet. It's just they just keep referring to it. So at some point, Bo-Katan lost the Darksaber, and now that's why Moff Gideon has it now. So I'm sure I'm interested in seeing that. I want to see where that goes. I want to see, Mando team up with the other Mandos and get the shit back. So who knows? Maybe Mando will get the Darksaber in the end. Who knows? I don't know.
That'd be some shit. It's just funny. What do we got here? Jan, what up? What was the name of that game? Damn it. Jedi Academy? Eli, do you remember that game?
I never played Academy.
I think it was Academy. I can't remember. It's been so long since I played. I think it was like on PlayStation 1 or some shit. But yeah, I think it was Jedi Academy. And it was like halfway through the game when Luke Skywalker just pop out of nowhere. He was never referenced anything, just come out of nowhere and just start fucking up people. So pretty cool.
Yeah, back in the 90s, all those comics and novels that are legends now had Luke Skywalker being OP as fuck.
Right, he was just like Jesus when he walked in there. He was just like
yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, let's see. Let's go ahead. Remember we said we're gonna knock out like about 3 topics for one. Let's do that. Let's just run through this shit and be done with it. Because I think we don't really give a shit, but we're just gonna talk about it because nothing happened. It was an uneventful week, so we're just gonna talk about it. So let's talk about the greatest theatrical movie of 2020. Technically, because nothing else came out.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, if there was an Oscar right now, Bloodshot would win it. So let's talk about Bloodshot.
What, Tenet? Tenet is better than Tenet?
Okay, I forgot about Tenet. Nobody saw Tenet, so I can't tell people it was better than Tenet. I mean,
Tenet is better. There's not many to choose from. Tenet, Bloodshot,
right? Tenet by default.
New Mutants.
We should cancel. New Mutants is 2020 is canceled just because New Mutants alone. We're not allowed to talk about it. But yeah, Tenet. Okay, so Tenet is the best movie of 2020 that was had a theatrical release. Other than that, I guess it would be Bloodshot. Okay, Bloodshot is the best comic book movie of 2020.
Probably.
Release. Okay, so why are we talking about Bloodshot? Okay, so we're talking about Bloodshot because they announced a sequel. And I'm like, why? Eli, did you ever see the movie? I know you didn't see it in the theater.
I own it. Remember, you could get it at home, and I bought it, and you could own it and shit. I own it now.
I'm talking shit. I own the movie. I actually own the movie too.
Yeah,
but I got it, but I never saw it. I just bought it just because I think it was like a voodoo sale for like $10. So I was like, fuck it, just get it.
But didn't you see it in the theater? You actually saw it in the theater.
It was the last movie I saw in the theater before the world went to hell. And that's another thing about the movie because the movie, technically it flopped, but you can't really count that because of COVID. Because Because like not even the weekend, like the weekend when the movie release was over, like that Wednesday, that's when the world went to shit. And nobody went to go to the movies or anything like that. Everything went on lockdown. So the movie flopped, but Sony's going to put money back in the money back in this movie to make another one. Say that 5 times fast. I don't know why. It was a pretty average movie. You ever heard the Valiant guys talk about this movie?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's hilarious.
Shout out
it's
to Get Valiant. Shout out
to Get Valiant. I love you guys' reviews on there. It's just I like how you just completely just veered off of like this movie sucked because it didn't reference Bloodshot number 23 where he did. Who gives a fuck, man?
Or 7 out of 5.
Right. And then they just went on this hour-long tirade how they would have wrote the movie and how it just referenced just a whole bunch of shit in the comics nobody fucking read. So, but they love the movie. No, they hated the movie. Eric hated it. No, Eric saw this movie. I think he said 10 times. I asked him. If you don't know Eric is not only the host of Get Valiant, he also used to be one of the co-hosts of this. This show.
Shout out to Ogar.
Shout out to Ogar. Not the host of this show, but the show before this one.
Yeah.
Before we was in our rough landing pattern. But he said he had to watch the movie 10 times before he can make a review of that movie because he loved Valiant and Bloodshot so much. I think he had to like convince himself this movie didn't suck or something. Brainwash himself, you know. Oh man, enough shit don't Get Valiant. But yeah, I
don't know if it's rated R, it might be good.
It won't be. It won't be. That's the thing.
Well, it needs to be.
It needs to be, but rated R movies don't exist anymore. That's the thing. Now I know we got Deadpool and we got Joker and all this shit like that.
John Wick and shit, you know.
John Wick, but for a movie like this, or probably nobody ever heard of, Sony's not going to take that risk. I doubt it. And so,
yeah, too bad.
They think of making another. And here's the thing about this movie: reason people want this movie. I'm talking about Valiant people. Talking about anybody that like this movie. The only reason they want to see because they think it's going to lead to something else. What's that? Harbinger,
Quantum and Woody, and
Quantum Woody, Ninjak, and all those
Archer
other fuckers.
And Armstrong.
What's that dude with the dress and the go-go boots? Magnus, robot fighter, whatever his name. Like I never got him. Is he a robot or does he fight robots?
I think he just fights robots.
You got to put a hype in this shit. I never understood what's his deal. You know, I just know dress and go-go boots
with his bare hands too.
Yeah, with his bare hands. I'm like, okay, but anyway,
put up your dukes. Yeah. Hey, what's the most successful movie? Be Faith. You know,
I can see Faith being successful only because I can see like the morning shows, like The View and shit like this, just shoving it down their throats.
Yeah, it would be woke. It would be woke as fuck.
It would be woke as fuck. You talking about Captain Marvel? No. Yeah. And I bet you who would play her? That's what I want to know.
Well, I said that one chick, but she lost a bunch of weight, so she can't play her no more.
That's the thing. She's like in that weird area now, so she's too skinny to play the fat chick, but she's not hot enough to play like the love actress. So it's like she's just in that weird holding pattern right now. I don't know.
Yeah, who's a hot big girl? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure somebody will pop up. It's a comic book movie. They'll just find somebody. Just stick them in there.
Yeah.
Or it'll be some comedian at the time. Whatever famous female comedian at the time, just throw her in there and she'll be fave. So what we talking about? Yeah. None of that shit is going to happen. That's the whole point I was trying to make. None of that shit is going to happen. Sony didn't have the rights to any of those movies. They only bought the rights to Bloodshot before Valiant sold the rights to everything else to somebody else completely different. I think Paramount or some shit like that. I don't know who got the rights. But anyway, Bloodshot is not going to lead to some Valiant cinematic universe. It's just Bloodshot and it's it. And here's the thing, Eli, what's the point of a comic book movie if there's nothing else it leads to? I mean, can we be honest? You've been saying this for the longest. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right here on this show. Most of these comic book movies are fucking mediocre as fuck, and that's being mildly. The only thing that makes them sell is that they lead to other things. Oh, this movie I need to watch for this movie. Oh, that movie I need to watch that movie. That's why people hate the DCEU because they're so fucked up. It leads to nothing.
Yeah.
And then they stop and then lead to something else again. But if they just even if they just made shitty movies that continued into something else, they sell. No one cares the quality about the movies as long as they're just moving to something else. And we're comic book fans. That's how we're comic book fans. That's how they got us.
Yeah.
I gotta read This shit over. I gotta read Excalibur to know what the fuck happened in X Factor, to know what happened in New Mutants, so I can find a finale in X-Men. They get you with this shit, even though I know all these books fucking suck, and I'm like, one, that's how they get you.
Yeah. So Marvel movies have turned Marvel's turned Marvel movies into Marvel comic books.
That's one way to say it. I think that's an oversimplification of what you just said, but that is what you're saying. I'm thinking they turned them into basically like soap operas, TV shows, TV seasons, which is all comic books were anyway, serialized.
Yeah.
Because that's what keep comic books going. So yes, Marvel has turned movies into the same. Now, we blaming Marvel. Star Wars did it first.
I suppose.
I mean, they just not to the level. They did it, but they moved away from it. But Marvel like cranked it up to 11. We just going to crank out 3 movies a year with Amy Schumer. Yes.
Oh, Rebel Wilson, but that's who lost a bunch of weight.
There is who lost. Did she lose weight? Hey, if they pay her $10 million to play face, she'll gain that shit back. I'll have a double cheeseburger with fries, please. A sequel, like you said. Yes, they're making a sequel of Bloodshot. Why? Who? I don't know. What else can you do with Bloodshot? I mean, what else is there? Okay, old man Bloodshot? He gonna have a daughter in the next movie or some shit? What the fuck? He goes to Japan? What?
Yeah. If they stick to the formula, which is a Terminator motherfucker shooting up motherfuckers. Okay. That's all you need. Like John Wick.
Okay. You saying it. Yeah. How did that work for the Terminator sequel? How many ago those movies are good?
Yeah. Well, that's because they didn't stick to the sequel. The second one, they made him a fucking a good guy. Then they turned the guy into a blob weird thing. And then they kept doing that. They fucked up the formula. Now all those movies are sticking to the Terminator 2 formula, which is why they all suck now.
That's true. Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot. After part 2, what's the best Terminator movie?
After part 2?
After part 2. I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, I don't know.
If you're listening, comment what's the best Terminator movie after part 2. If you're listening.
Part 2.
After part 2.
Shit, I don't know, man. I guess the last was the last one, the one that the dude from Dead, the last one.
I thought you hated that one.
I did, but like the action was cool. Like it had cool action, but it wasn't really a Terminator movie. I don't know. Shit. Yeah, I don't know. The best one was actually the one at Universal Studios that you could go see in 3D.
That's just a ride. It
is a ride. It's a theme park ride.
Which not is what Mark's gonna say that all these movies are anyway. So,
not real cinema.
I agree with them on that with these Terminator movies. Yeah. All right, can we move on past that? Nothing else I want to add to that. What was it? So another movie we want to shit on? Yes, another movie we want to shit on. Constantine.
Yeah. Okay, we can shit on that.
We can shit on Constantine. I know everybody's excited for a Constantine sequel. That movie fucking sucked. Keanu Reeves is the worst casting choice of any comic book character ever.
He should have been Batman.
He don't need to be anybody. Nobody. Stop trying to put him in these movies. I don't want to see Keanu Reeves play Keanu Reeves for 90 minutes and he got him playing, I don't know, Moon Knight or some bullshit. I don't want to see that. Just let Keanu Reeves just do his shit. Bill and Ted, John Wick. Let him knock out another Neo because they're all the same person. Fuck it. Whoa. He's just whoa with guns. And they're some of them are pretty. The Terminator movies? Are you talking about Terminator or the MCU?
Or the Bloodshots?
Not Bloodshot. Definitely not Bloodshot. No.
Or the Constantines.
All those fucking movies suck. Every movie just named suck. Jen, I'm gonna say you talking about the Terminator movies. I'm gonna say that. What do we got? What do we got here? Okay. Let's move on past that. Can we move on to the next section?
Sure.
Yeah. All we just saying is that Constantine suck. Don't need to have Keanu Reeves play any superhero movie. Again, I'm done with him doing this shit. What you got for me? He is when he does what he needs to do. When he plays a role that isn't suited for him, he's weird. He just wrong. Like, what is that movie? Bram Stoker's Dracula. He was playing like the English accent, or like
Winona Ryder's. Her accent sucked too.
It's Winona Ryder. She's a pass. Oh shit! What do we got here? Oh yeah, this is the big boy right here, Eli. Tell me, did you get this? We're gonna jump right into this bad boy. Boom! PS5.
Mhm.
You get yours?
I will not. No.
Oh damn! Why are you so anti-establishment, Eli?
I know. I'm not gonna. I just got my PS4 like 2 years ago. So
What the hell? Well, here's the thing. I want to let everybody know that if you're looking to find one, you won't find one if you haven't got one already. Email. Sony put out an email or a blog post themselves saying if you try to go to any store, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Sam's Club, Costco, wherever you go, you won't find one. I know Gabe is pissed off about GameStop saying he just found one behind a desk with some dude that was smoking a cigarette behind him, just having to have one laying around. You're not gonna find one. It's not. Only way you're gonna find one, maybe, if you order one from online. And Sony still got the PS3. Yeah, you need to upgrade. I'm not buying you one, but I'm just saying you need to upgrade.
My PS3 lasted forever, man. I bought that shit back.
I'll be honest with you. The PS3
I had it till I bought my PS4.
The PS3 was so much. It was like more fun. Had more fun games on the PS4. PS4, like they were boring. Like they look good, but they were boring. Like a lot of those games on there.
Yeah.
They don't have like God of War. All the God of Wars on PS3 were like fun as hell. I played the shit out of them. They God of War on PS4 like bored the fuck out of me. I'm like, what the hell is this shit? Like, nah. I sold the whole thing after this. Thank you, Jen. Cosign. All right. So what are we talking about? PS5. So you're not gonna find a PS5 anywhere. Don't bother looking. If you haven't got one yet, you're not going to get one in 2020. Not going to happen. Maybe 2021. Yeah. Oh, and if you can't find one, please do not, if you're shopping for your loved ones, do not get them an Xbox. Don't do that. If you get them an Xbox, they're going to question whether or not you love them or not. So don't do that. Don't settle. So you hear me, Jen? Do not give your loved ones an Xbox. What are we talking about?
I heard if you like shooters, get the Xbox. If you like role-playing games, get the PS5. Whatever.
That was the theory at one time. That is no longer the case. Because first off, that's when the PS3 and the Xbox 360 were in the heyday. First off, the PS3 controllers suck. Do I have one?
A PS3 controller?
Yeah, PS3 controller. This PS4 controller, but the PS3 controller sucked for shooters. Those buttons on the back of them, they suck because you couldn't play shooters on them at all. They were terrible. They were pretty much terrible for anything. They were lighter, smaller. The Xbox 360 controller was so much better. Matter of fact, the Xbox 360 was like a better system than the.
I did have a 360. Yeah, was it the one? That's what I was. Yeah, I was doing Left 4 Dead.
You don't love your family, Jen. If they get mad at you, hey, I warned you. All right, what are we talking about? Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Like I said, if you haven't got a PS5, you're not gonna get a PS5, so that's pretty much it. So, Eli, can we move into the next part of the podcast? I guess this is it. This we're gonna jump into it.
Okay, sure.
All right, so like I said, this is the Comic Book Bullies where we talk about the comic books, and we're just gonna jump into it. And the first book we're gonna jump into, if you haven't been following Ten of Swords, we're gonna follow Ten of Swords. What do we got here? Yes, F362. Hang on to that 360. Actually, you don't hang on 360. Sell the 360 because every game I think on those new Xboxes is compatible with 360. So no reason to have one. You can't sell it because nobody's gonna buy it. So because it's the Xbox. So
I'm surprised it still works because I went through like 2 or 3 360s because they kept
the red ring of death. It'll fuck you up every time. Oh shit, what are we talking about? Okay, so we're gonna jump into it. We're going to jump into this first. Like I said, we're doing 10 of Swords. We're doing 10 of Swords right now, and this is Excalibur number 14. This is part, I think, 15 of 10 of Swords. Here's the thing, Eli. They actually fight in this episode. I mean, in this comic.
Okay.
Yeah, they actually have a score. Like they have a score down at the bottom, like overhead score, like ESPN and some shit of who's winning. So let's jump into this. The first one, if you see what's going on right now in this book, you'll see that the wimpy X-Man, what's his name, Cypher, some shit. Like Apocalypse is like, yeah, it's over for you. You know, they're basically telling him that he's about to engage into battle. But the first part of the book isn't about him. The first fight of the 10 of Swords is between, what's her name? Yeah, right here. The first fight is between Psylocke and Iska the Unbeaten.
So what is this, like Mortal Kombat?
That's exactly what it is. It's a fight to the death where you go through different planets and realities and alternate dimensions, shit like that. But here's the thing: remember that rule where the X-Men can like revive and
Yeah.
that doesn't work here. Jonathan Hickman explains some bullshit. He got a long explanation about why it don't work. I paid no attention to it. But if you die here in this reality, you don't come back.
So it's like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Basically. He got a whole explanation. Ask Gomer. Gomer knows the shit. Because I was looking at it, I'm like, hey, what the fuck does this mean? I don't know what any of this shit means. All you need to know, they don't come back. Basically. So if you die here,
it's still the best shit ever, though.
It's still the best shit ever. So that's it. So anyway, do I need to explain Psylocke? I think I need to explain Psylocke. Okay, everybody knows Psylocke. Everybody knows the Japanese ninja assassin, mutant Psylocke, all this shit like that. This ain't her. Or actually, this is her. And not her at the same time. Psylocke was originally a British Posh Spice ripoff, English muffin type, whatever. She went through some wormhole where she got body swapped with a Japanese woman who is a sexy ninja Asian assassin and all this shit like that. And for the next 20 years, she's running around as an Asian woman, a white woman in an Asian woman's body. Until Twitter realized how fucked up that was, and it got woke, and they had to change it back. So, yeah. Anyway, what was I talking about? So now she's Captain Britain. Long story short, anyway, we get to the point of it. They start fighting. Iska the Unbeaten. Everybody's saying, yay, we're about to start fighting. Everybody's hooping them up. Apocalypse is like, it's over for her. So, like I said, they call her Iska the Unbeaten for a reason. Because when they start fighting, Iska the Unbeaten breaks Psylocke's sword and shatters her, kills her. So she's dead. Okay. She's out of there. So round one goes to the bad guys. That's it. Next part of the book, and then X-Men upset. They didn't know she was going to get beat that easily or whatever. Doesn't matter. Next part of the book, that wimpy dude at the beginning, Cypher, marries Bay the Blood Moon. I just spoiled it for you. But anyway, for some reason, they get married. I don't know why. That's the ceremony. And I want to show you Bay the Blood Moon for a second. Like, Bay the Blood Moon is for. Now, I'm confused. I probably shouldn't be confused, but I'm going to be confused for a second. I can't tell if this is a man or a woman.
Oh, I thought with the white hair, was that supposed to be Storm?
No, it's not Storm. It's some mutant alien thing that's there. But the way they always have Bay, the Blood Moon, you can't really tell if it's a man or a woman. But Cypher doesn't care. He's like, you're beautiful. I'll marry you. Because she's like 7 feet tall. So I'm just like, look at this. The fuck? She's protecting him.
Okay.
So I don't know. Oh, Jubilee's riding a dragon. Who gives a fuck? Dragon. Anyway, the point of that book, since they got married, the referee of Saturday Night, whatever her name is, she awards the X-Men and the bad guys a point each. So right now, the Ten of Swords score so far is 2-1. I'm trying to see if I can show you the score. Fuck it don't matter. Anyway, that's the score 2-1. But that's this book. Do you want to go, or you want me to go ahead and finish this shit up?
What do you mean?
Not on the X-Men shit. I mean on your book. Let me finish this shit up. Okay. That's this book. Because like I said, this is a whole thing.
This is the X hour?
the X minute, right. Whatever Gomer calls that shit. Okay, so now I'm gonna jump into the next book. That's part 15. This is part 16, Wolverine. Like I said, that first book I just talked about sucked. This one, okay. What happens in this book? What happens at the beginning of the book is that, like I said, it's a Wolverine book, but it actually begins with Magic fighting, what's that dragon dude, Poo Ponyong? What's the name? I can't remember his name. I'm not being racist. He's a dragon. No, not Fing Fang Foom. Ping Pong Poon. This guy. I'm not being racist. That's what they call him. Anyway, this is what he looks like. She fights him. That guy, the dragon dinosaur that fights with swords and shit.
No, yeah, the leatherhead.
Yeah, so Magic has to fight him, and right before they get ready to fight shit.
From Godzilla, that's what it looks like.
Whatever you want to call him. But so anyway, here's the thing: the referee of these X-Men fights and shit like that, she's cheating. So what she does, she snatches the swords out of their hands. She's like, "No, y'all got to arm wrestle." Like, what the fuck? So this little 90-pound white girl has to battle this dinosaur with 8 arms. And of course, you know who's going to win in an arm wrestling fight. Let's get right to it. Yeah, she breaks her arm. Bad guys 3, Krakoa 1. So now they're up. So that's part 1. That's part of this. This shit gets worse.
So was that supposed to be cool? To have a big
I think it was like, I don't think it was supposed to be cool. I think it was just like, what? It's setting you up what's going on. That's
like, let's have a big giant dinosaur with 8 arms who fights with swords arm wrestle.
Right. I think what they're doing, they're just saying that the odds aren't in the X-Men's favor. They're cheating to make the other guys win. Because let's go to Wolverine now. Because like I said, it's a Wolverine book. And Wolverine is fighting on some weird ass planet of whatever. Anyway, he fights Apocalypse's grandson, the Summoner. And the point is that the fight is supposed to fight to the death. So if I can show you the scene, Wolverine stabs Summoner in the eye, kills him. So, but like I said, the fight was to the death. So since Summoner died, the bad guys get a point. So
okay,
bad guys won. Bad guys 4, Krakoa 1, because you were supposed to die to win. So
okay.
yeah. So anyway,
So Wolverine fucked it all up.
Wolverine fucked it up because he beat the guy. He wasn't supposed to. Anyway, so they go back to this regular place, and then she has another rule going on. She's saying the X-Men have to have a drinking contest between Storm and Wolverine. Whoever wins get the point. So no matter what happens, the X-Men will get a point right here. All they got to do is to get drunk. Whoever gives up loses. You know, but you still get a point. So Wolverine and Storm get drunk off their ass. Meanwhile, one of the Horsemen pays off, Mad Jim Jasper, the ruler of that bar, whatever like that. So obviously we know something is fucked up about to happen. So Storm and Wolverine just keep getting drunk, fucked up the whole time like that. They already got a point. But here's the part that the internet is going crazy over right here. Well, controversial part over here. So like I said, Wolverine and Storm, drunk as shit, getting drunk as hell, getting closer. And you already know people getting pissed off about this because Wolverine and Storm aren't supposed to be a thing. Some people think they are supposed to be a thing. I'll come back to that in a second. Anyway, Wolverine gets teleported out of there because while the X-Men are drinking to get a point, the bad guys are supposed to fight to the death to get their point. And whoever wins, they get a point regardless. But the bad guys cheat. He like, you know what? I want Wolverine to fight in my place. So Wolverine just teleports there for no reason. He like, whatever. So that dude Wolverine just killed, that firehead lady, that's his mom. She wants revenge. So the rule is whoever chops off a limb first loses. And the other dude that just called him down there, he left. So Wolverine, what happens? Yeah, so they're fighting, of course. Oh, and the reason he got drunk is because it eliminates his healing factor. He didn't know they were poisoning him, basically. So he's barely drunk.
Soap opera shit, man.
It's a soap opera. He drunk off his ass fighting. Meanwhile, she's going for head. She's like, I'm gonna chop a limb off. I'm gonna chop his head off for killing my son. So she tries to chop his head off, but he's made out of adamantium. Adamantium, bitch. Pulls out the claws. Yeah, chops the arm off. Point goes to the bad guys.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because he was fighting in the place of the other bad guy. So even though Wolverine won the fight, the bad guy still won. So bad guys 5, X-Men 2. That's the score of House of X or whatever the fuck this is right now.
So what do they win? Do they get a cookie at the end of this, or what's the point of this fight?
Oh yeah. Okay. Whoever wins, whoever wins the whole tournament gets control of Krakoa. So if the bad guys get Krakoa, that's basically because the bad guys are like this. They're basically deported to hell. So they're gonna send their entire army and just kill everybody: Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Avengers, whoever the fuck, So the X-Men are trying to stop them from doing that. But like I said, they're losing. So yeah, look, I'm excited because we finally got some traction going on this story right now. I've been kind of just whatever about this 10 of X story. And now that I'm seeing how they getting fucked over the story, no matter what happens, what the X-Men do, I'm kind of curious now. I thought it was gonna be like a straight up Mortal Kombat type fight, but like, nah, the bad guys are cheating. So I'm into it. Seeing what's going on. So.
They got you, didn't they?
They got me. Like I said, I got to read this to read that to read that. That's how comics get you. So yeah. All right, shoot, what you got?
Well, I guess I didn't read much this week. It was a light week. But I guess I'll do detective.
Okay. Got you set up right here.
My books. Shit. Nope.
This is where you fight the Looking Glass. Whatever the guy's name is.
Mirror guy.
That guy. Yeah.
Yeah, mirror guy. Mirror guy does not show up in this,
He's on the cover.
but he's not in it.
You fucking up, DC.
Yeah. So, or is he? Or is he?
Oh, okay.
So the book starts out with what's the guy's name? The Nakano. Nakano, is that his name? Nakano, the guy who's running for the ex-cop who's running for mayor in Gotham, who wants to get rid of mass vigilantes. He's got a whole anti-mask campaign going on, anti-vigilante campaign. Anyways, we start out with him. He's having a nightmare about his partner that was killed, and and then Batman's in the nightmare, and it's kind of like highlighting the guilt that he feels over him losing his partner, and then blaming Batman for it. So he's all like, those mass vigilantes, they need to go. So is he mirror guy? We don't know. Or maybe I'm missing something. But anyways, cut to Batman. They're on the Batman meets with the Bat family on the roof. They're on some roof.
No Damian, right?
No Damian. Yeah, Damian is gone. He took off. He's no longer Robin. But the Bat family's there, and they're all like, yeah, man, this anti-vigilante shit is really, cramping our style. They're like trapping us. They're like setting us up and ambushing. Like they're trying on their nightly patrols. They hear victims screaming, and then they go down there, and it turns out that they're screaming to lure them in, and then they start.
But Batman should have trained them better to see shit like that. Cause that's how they tried to get them in the Frank Miller books.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, this has been going on all over the city. Everybody, Batgirl, and Red Hood, and everybody, Cassandra, they're all like, damn, yeah, this is happening all over the city. So okay, well, so thank you, Batman, for holding this meeting. And they're like, I didn't call this meeting. I thought Nightwing called this meeting. Like he's like, no, I didn't call this meeting either. And then all of a sudden, all these the anti-maskers come, get him, and they're all like get chasing out of there. Then we cut to Damian. Damian stole Bruce Wayne's or Batman's book, his black book that has all the cases and shit and all his secrets in there.
That weird Grant Morrison shit, yeah.
Yeah, and he's trying to solve. I think he's trying to solve an unsolved crime that Batman never solved, which was who was trying to assassinate him. He never caught someone who was trying to assassinate Bruce Wayne. So, that's what he's doing. He's going and investigating this book, and he's in the vault, and he's finds some detective. He's like, I'm going to go check this chick out. And that's where it ends. Just him kind of going on and trying to solve this case. So you don't really know if is Damian really trying to solve this case to help Batman, or is he just trying to solve this case to show him up, to sort of brag like, I solved the case you never did? We don't know. It's Damian. So
I mean, it could be a little both, a little bit of this, a little bit of that,
Yeah. It was all right. I give it a 3 out of 5. Not much happened. It's just set up, a little bit of a breather. But I'm digging on it. It's cool. 3 out of 5. Detective story. Detective comic.
Cool.
I mean.
Cool. Okay. So the next book I'm going to do is where are you? I don't see it. Oh well. Next one I'm gonna do. There you go. Amazing Spider-Man number 52.
You read a Spider-Man book.
I read a Spider-Man book. The reason I read it because I was just like, it caught my attention. And this is Nick Spencer. Now I know every comic book fan hears that name and they get triggered. They just want his head on a platter. But I think Nick Spencer gets a bad rap. I'm gonna say that on here.
They still haven't forgiven him for Nazi Cap. Is that what it is?
I'm coming to terms with it, but a lot of people have it,
After they referenced it in Endgame, everybody all is forgiven.
Right? Hey, that's that thing that I remember.
Yeah, that pissed me off and I hate it. It's in this movie. Cool.
That's how they get you. All right. So anyway, this book is actually a middle of a storyline called Final Realm or Final Fallen. I don't know what the fuck it is. Anyway, he's fighting a dude named Kindred. I don't know who the fuck Kindred is. He pops up, but he does some weird ass shit right here because his thing. he's Spider-Man has finally tracked Kindred down, and he sees a whole bunch of skeletons on a table. And Kindred said, "Pete, I did all this for you." And then when we look at who all was on those skeletons, it's I can't show you. I can't show you. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in. It's
shit.
Yep, George Stacy.
Damn.
Yep,
Yeah.
Jean DeWolf. I don't know who the fuck did it. Marlon Jameson. Flash Thompson. You remember he died in Gwen Stacy. He's got their dead body sitting there, and Uncle Ben.
Of course,
he dug up their dead bodies and had them sitting in this dinner table. So, because what he's doing, he's trying to prove a point, and he's trying to prove to him that all of these people sitting at this table died because of you, Pete. And I'm trying to show you that. So Spider-Man is just like, you fucking monster, you know, you go wild out. You know how Spider-Man does. He builds up all this strength and this inner strength, and he just finds it anywhere. You know, he beats the guy up and stuff like that. Didn't work this time. This guy, yeah, Pete, I know you're going to do this shit. I know you're going to find the strength and find the will from somewhere and beat the bad guy. Not going to work this time. I know you move before you do. Fighting me is like fighting a mirror. Matter of fact, I'll even show you. And he throws him through a mirror. I thought it was kind of fucking stupid. But you know what? I don't know who's drawing this. I need to find who's drawing it. But there's like some awesome like images
looks
in
good.
there.
Yeah,
looks pretty good there. Whoever. I mean, but it's Spider-Man. You're going to get your best guy to get Spider-Man. You know, at least a good guy to get Spider-Man. You know, but Spider-Man's like punching a hole through him. Nothing's working. You know. And then when he knocks him outside the building, that's when I don't know what the hell is going on, but apparently, like I said, I'm just jumping in the middle of the story. But apparently, all of the Spider family or whatever the fuck they call themselves, they've all been possessed and turned into like super spider people and shit. Like Spider Woman is Woman Spider, you know. Silk and this one's a fucked up one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, and this is really fucked up right here. So on the Washington State Bridge, like I said, if you know your Spider-Man lore, you know what this means. So this Washington State Bridge. Am I saying it right? Washington State Bridge.
George Washington Bridge.
That's what I meant. Thank you. Somebody from New York is on this podcast. Okay. So he's showing them what's going on the George Washington Bridge, and it's Spider-Gwen holding up a knocked out Miles Morales. Because if you remember on the George Washington Bridge back in the 70s, this is where Gwen Stacy died. So she throws Miles Morales off the bridge.
That's Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen, yeah. So okay. Spider-Gwen, a zombie Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen.
Yeah, told her that. So, you know, Peach is like, look, no, none of them asked this. I'm the one you want. I'll save them, kill me. I'm the one you want anyway. And so Kendrick is like, deal. So when he says deal, all of the spider people revert back to normal. You know, Miles all of a sudden just wakes up at the last minute. You know, he swings like, woo, okay, because I guess he was like knocked out or like this. He say Spider-Gwen's face goes back to normal. All the spider women and spider people and shit like that, they're fine. And Peter's like, whoo, thank good, that was good. And then Ken's like, oh yeah, now Pete, about that deal we just made. Crack, breaks his neck. The end. So
okay,
yeah. That's in the book.
Jake Fisher wants to know. He thought Miles is around after Peter got killed. Yeah, what canon is this? This is
616. This is 616.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see. I thought Miles ran after Peter got killed. Okay, that is the ultimate universe.
Yeah, that would.
That's don't ask me to know the name of it. Earth 12, whatever like that. But that world no longer exists. Hickman wiped that shit out with Secret Wars.
Secret Wars.
Yeah, but since everybody liked Miles Morales, Miles hopped over to the 616 before that Earth got destroyed. Him and I think Old Man Logan and some other people like that anyway. So Miles is here, you know. But Peter's not dead. Don't worry, he'll be fine. I know a broken neck where your neck gets turned around 360 looks bad, but he'll be all right. All right, yeah, I'm gonna get this book of 45. Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with the story. I don't know who this Kindred dude is. He seems like a mixture of like every Spider-Man villain ever because he got like these weird worm arms. He can't be hurt like Sandman. I think he killed Mysterio or some shit. So he just seems like everybody, you know. So overall, cool book. I'm not gonna keep up with it, but it's cool. So
it looked pretty cool. Yeah.
I mean, it looked cool for that one book. That's what I'm saying. Everybody need to stop shitting on Nick Spencer, man. Nick Spencer is not the devil. He's okay. So, yeah. What you got next?
Okay, well, I'll go with this Lonesome Days, Savage Nights.
Now, this was a graphic novel you bought?
This is from TKO. This is that that studio that's been doing they're basically putting out graphic novels digitally. That's like their specialty. So it's got, you know, Jeff Lemire and Garth Ennis and all like top creators putting out independent, you know, books, but instead of going into print and going in the comic shops, it's all online digital. That's like a new thing. They're trying to revitalize the industry and get with modern times. So they're strictly digital titles. And instead of putting out issue by issue, they put it out in trades, online digital trades. So I picked, since it was a light week, I picked this up. Lonesome Days, Savage Nights, Steve Niles, who did 30 Days a Night, most famously. That's his most famous book. Salvatore Simeone, they were the writers, and art by Simon Krudansky. So pretty cool art. Now, this is a werewolf story. Werewolf versus the mob, basically. He's a hard-boiled detective. He's, he becomes a werewolf. He's out for revenge over them killing his wife or girlfriend, and he just goes on this cool murder spree, killing gangsters and shit. It's Steve Niles, so it's all horror and gore and blood and guts. Very violent, super violent. I really dug on this. It's basically, it had all those familiar tropes of, horror tropes, werewolf tropes. There's elements of American Werewolf in London. There's elements of Silver Bullet and, all your favorite werewolf movies and stuff like that. But also it's a hard-boiled detective story. So there's elements of Frank Miller, Daredevil, and Sin City, the narration, him narrating, on the case, and that inner voice that these characters have. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun, even though it was familiar tropes, it's familiar territory, but the way they utilized it, the way they kept the story going and paced it, it was a lot of fun. It's basically where he's a good monster. He's a good werewolf, like Werewolf by Night versus the Hulk versus the mob versus these gangsters, and he just rips them to shreds. Like,
because you don't feel bad because they're gangsters.
Yeah. So there's decapitations, disembowel, a lot of guts. You see a lot of entrails flying, a lot of intestines flying through the panels. It was cool. It was a lot of fun. I give it a 4 out of 5. It was a graphic novel. It was like, this was 6 chapters or whatever. So that would be 6 individual, issues, but they released them all in one book.
I'm curious to see how that sales. I'm curious about that, because if that catches on, that might be the future. Here's the thing: the indie's going to do it, and if it catches on, Marvel or DC is going to start doing that shit too.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, this is my first because they started like a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when they announced it, and I thought that's a pretty good idea, but because they're trades, this was $14. So it's like, okay, that's a little expensive, but it is a graphic novel. You're getting the whole story in one shot. And like I said, so this is my first TKO title that I ever read. There's some other stuff that, like I said, Jeff Lemire's got a book. Garth Ennis has a book and they're getting good reviews. They're actually, they're getting good reviews. People are enjoying these stories. It's just, single issue versus, the trade all in one sitting, But like I said, this would be a cool movie. Because look at here's some of this panel stuff. Like, you can kind of see, like, I don't know if you could see it, but the guts, him ripping out the guts and shit, ripping off arms.
Let's be honest. This sounds like a movie pitch.
Yeah,
like I said, it's the guy from 30 Days a Night. Which that book was a movie pitch, which became a movie. That became a movie. Yeah.
He's got other titles that are becoming movies now.
Yeah. And it's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Nothing wrong with getting rich.
Marvel's never going to do this. Marvel's not going to have, guts being ripped out. You know, there's a scene where he rips out the guy's heart and then shows it to him, and the guy's still conscious, like, you
Like
know,
on Indiana Jones,
yeah, basically. Yeah, a lot of fun, familiar territory, but they did it in a way where it was interesting. It was fun, very fast paced. You know, each chapter had a really cool kill scene, and that's all you need with horror. You know, if, like I said, you stick with the formula, you follow it well, and don't fuck it up, you're good. You know, and this is a werewolf story, but he's a detective werewolf. He's a detective werewolf, basically. You know, and yeah, it had all those, like the Hulk, where, you know, keeping the monster at bay, keeping the beast within, containing that beast within until, you know, all that stuff. You know, that psychological Incredible Hulk stuff that, you know, that we're all
and we're saying
familiar with.
Incredible Hulk, but Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, you know, all
Yeah,
that stuff.
all that stuff. You know, don't let the monster out. You know, don't become a monster, or you stare into the abyss, you become all that. You know, existential, philosophical Nietzsche shit is in there. We've heard it before, but it works. It totally works. You know, and it was a lot of fun. The mob boss is like a game hunter, so he's like Craven, basically. So, you know, and like the big climax is where the werewolf goes into, he's like Kingpin in the high rise, you know, skyscraper, and then, you know, the werewolf like goes up the flight of stairs, just ripping all the criminals to shreds and shit. It's pretty cool. You know?
Cool. Okay.
So yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5. No, fuck it, 4.5 out of 5. You know, like I said,
okay.
it was predictable. It had those familiar, you know, you know, horror tropes, but they used it in a cool way that kept it interesting.
So let me ask you this: since it's a graphic novel, did it feel like it had a definitive beginning, middle, end?
Yes, it does end. They do get the bad guys at the end, but they do set up, like, you know what? I'm going to get my job back, and I'm going to use my werewolf abilities for the good. And that's kind of where it ends.
Okay, so and I'm fine with that, but yeah,
it does set up. So they do set up a continuation, but
but the narrative, the conflict that was going on, is done. It's okay.
Yeah, the 3-act structure is here. There is a resolution at the end. So
okay, that's what I want to know, because comics have a hard time wrapping their head around that notion. You know, everything's just continuous 50-year-long soap opera. Like, no, we want a beginning, middle, end.
And that's what we got here. There's potential for sequels or further future stories, but this is a self-contained tale, and it was a lot of fun. Lonesome Days, Savage Nights, the werewolf detective story versus the mob, versus gangsters and shit. So
okay, so last book I got. I can't read that. Can you see? Nope, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Oh well, we're gonna eyeball it. Last book I got is Taskmaster.
Okay.
I don't have, but yeah, we're gonna go. Oh, there it is, right there. Taskmaster. Okay, so Taskmaster, like I said, why am I reading a Taskmaster book? I'm like, why not? It is a 5-issue miniseries, which is a thing Marvel seems to be going to right now. That seems to be their business model right now. Whenever they bring out new books, they just they bring out a new creative team. They get this one hero. They got like these 5 issues. And just tell straight as it. Well, loosely speaking, we know protagonists, if you want to go there. So they go there, and then I'm pretty sure, because they did this back in the 80s also. What Marvel did, they had a whole bunch of 4-issue miniseries going on. If the book sold, they got picked up and became a real series. I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to do now. Everything old is do again. Just do it again. So what is this book about? What is Taskmaster about? Well, anyway, the book starts off with a shocking discovery. Maria Hill is dead.
Oh, really?
So yeah, she's dead, and apparently the only thing they find in her apartment or house or headquarters is Taskmaster's shield. Interesting. So when we go to it, what is Taskmaster doing? And this where the book takes a turn.
He's playing golf.
He's playing golf. Okay, because first off, I got to explain who the Magia is. Now, the Magia is not a new thing. It goes back to the 70s. Like Marvel didn't have the Mafia. They have the Magia.
The Magia. Magia.
Magia, Magia, but whatever you want to call it, they don't have the Mafia. They have them. So don't think it's MAGA.
The magic mafia.
Whatever you want to call it. They all get a bunch of superpower mobsters. That's all.
Yeah.
But, just like Hydra is the Nazi, but like that, that's what they do. But anyway, since the Magia don't, or whatever you want to, Magia, whatever you want to call them, they don't golf themselves. They hire people to golf for them for this thing. So they hire Taskmaster and Bullseye.
I was about to say Bullseye. It looked like Bullseye back there.
Right. So Bullseye's back there. So it's Taskmaster versus Bullseye in this golf tournament. And of course, Taskmaster set up all night watching Tiger Woods last night. so of course he's gonna win. But before they get started, boom, the Magia boss gets shot in the head. It's shot in the head, and Taskmaster's like, "Oh, what the fuck's going on?" So obviously they're shooting at him. He don't know who they're shooting at, so he just takes off running. He like, I hope they're shooting at Bullseye. So he sees the assassin shooting at him. He's hoping he runs away thinking they're shooting at Bullseye, but they're not shooting at him. So he hops in the golf cart and just takes off, driving away in the golf cart. The assassin sees him and I spoiled it. Taskmaster like memorize how Ghost Rider drives, so he starts driving the golf cart like Ghost Rider.
Really?
Yeah.
A golf cart.
Right, a golf cart. It's like a really stupid book, man. It was entertaining. But anyway, while he's driving,
I'm imagining the Benny Hill theme playing.
Right. In the background, then you see music playing is 9 to 5. Dolly Parton playing in the background. So the assassin has a motorbike chasing after him. He's like, I brought a damn golf cart, to a motorbike. But while he's running, getting away from the motorbike assassin with the machine gun, he get a phone call from somebody telling him, if you stay in this golf cart, they're going to kill you. They're looking to kill you. You need to take this turn here, and I'll be waiting here. If you don't make it in the next 5 minutes, I'm out. But you got to make it here in this time. Otherwise, they're going to kill you, Because he don't know why they're chasing him, what they're doing, whatever like that. So anyway, he drives to the golf cart to an archery place. So, of course, he picks up a bow and arrow because he knows how Hawkeye shoots, So he shoots at him, at the assassin, but apparently he misses because the assassin is so good. The assassin uses the motorcycle to block the arrows and still shoots at him. So Taskmaster's like, hold up. Nobody dodges my arrows. This person is somebody extra. This is some weird shit going on right now. So he's still on the phone call with the person. The assassin still shooting him and shit like that. Shoots at the tires on the golf cart. He manages to get away. And who's waiting for him? Boom, Nick Fury, the black one. Because like I said, the white one is up in space. So you got it, because Marvel can't make up their mind what Nick Fury they want to use. Last week I had to talk about another Nick Fury, the white one. Now we're talking about the black one. Because they're two different Nick Furies. Because this Nick Fury was trained by Maria Hill. That's why he wants to find out who's trying to kill Maria Hill. Or who killed Maria Hill. And he realized it's not Taskmaster, because if it was Taskmaster, then he wouldn't have gotten in the car with Nick Fury, of course. So they're riding around trying to find and they've realized who's the assassin, the Black Widow.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Black Widow thinks that Taskmaster killed Maria Hill, so she's trying to kill her, and Nick Fury is using her, she's the world's deadliest assassin and all this stuff like that. Not really. We just read a book of Wolverine. Whatever.
Is Wolverine an assassin though? I thought he's just
hell yeah, Wolverine assassin. They hire Wolverine all the time. They're like,
to pay.
Wolverine, I need this guy off. Yeah.
Does he get paid?
Sometimes.
I thought they just get him drunk and
they just get him beers. I mean, it's technically they're still getting paid. And he always talk about I'm the best there is at what I do. So I'm gonna say he's the best world assassin. But anyway, they're hyping up Black Widow like, she's the greatest assassin. You'll never run from her. You got to clear your name, otherwise she's gonna get you. So they go there. They find out what Maria Hill was working on. Obviously, this thing that probably got to kill. It's some old hammer thing that they were working on that they can't break into because they need 3 people that they have to mimic their body language and walk perfectly. And of course, Taskmaster can do that. But Taskmaster said, in order for me to do that, I have to get up close and personal to these people in order to do that. Okay, here's the 3 people you need to get in contact with. Boom. Phil Coulson.
Okay.
Whoever the fuck this chick is, Mia Han, whatever like that.
Okoye?
And Okoye. So he has to get up to these 3 people to close enough to mimic their movement so he can unlock this secret file that Maria Hill got killed trying to do. And it's just like,
And when this happens, that's when that song from Ferris Bueller starts playing. That bow, bow.
Yeah.
Bow, bow.
So yeah, that's the Deadpool book. Oops, I mean Taskmaster book. That's basically what it was, a Deadpool book. That's what it was. I'm like,
very, very lighthearted for a Taskmaster.
yeah, I'm thinking like it's gonna be like Deathstroke, Ninja Assassin, Warrior. Like, no, it was like Taskmaster hero. Yeah, okay.
Well,
Taskmaster's like every other mercenary in comics. He's good. Depending on how you pay him, is what he is.
It's Marvel. He's supposed to be in the Black Widow movie. They always take villains and then hero them up. You know?
Yeah, because they're popular, so you got to flip it. You know, we just saw a Juggernaut book a while ago. Yeah. So yeah,
like Venom. Venom's a good guy now. He was like the dopest villain of all time, and then they made him a good guy now. Now he's
and he's a dad.
Now he's got a kid. Yes.
Right. So yeah, I mean, here's the thing: Taskmaster's a mercenary. Deadpool was a mercenary. This goofy shit worked for Deadpool. So why not do it for Taskmaster? Now it's not something I want to keep them doing, but if you're gonna take on him one time where he's like this goofy serial killer running around doing Deadpool shit, why not? But just this one time.
So did Taika Waititi write this book?
I don't know who wrote it, but I'm just like, okay, that's an interesting thing. I wouldn't have took that direction with Taskmaster, but I'm not writing the book.
Golf, like golf.
Right. You're playing a golf tournament. I'm watching Tiger Woods. I'm gonna cheat. You do this, People are mad because they fridged Maria Hill.
That's what I was thinking when I was reading that Lonesome Day Savage Nights. I was like, oh shit, his girlfriend got killed. Now he's gonna go get revenge. I'm like, oh, this is fridging. They're gonna bitch, but I don't care. There's people getting their hearts ripped out. I don't care.
I mean, that's the thing. Like I said, but at least I don't think we should stop the trope, but I think we should just recognize the trope when we see it. That's all. Like I said, you recognize, I recognize. We shouldn't cancel people if they do it. It's just thing.
Yeah, we got bigger problems, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2020. 2020 is a bigger problem.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I'm booked out. What else you got?
Really? No shit.
Yeah,
and I
did like 50 million. Yeah, I did like 50 million X books. So
okay, well, I got these. I suppose I'll do Kick-Ass versus Hit Girl.
Okay.
I was like I said, it was a light week, so I kind of just, was bored and picked up a couple of books that I normally wouldn't, but. Actually, I was reading the old that one Kick-Ass story where they get the new Kick-Ass. She's like a Iraqi war vet.
Oh, really?
Black chick. Iraqi war vet. Anyway, that's who's the Kick-Ass in this book. She's basically doing, taking on the cartels, drug cartels, fucking them up, and then at one point, Hit Girl. She said like this motorcycle gang is fucking with this family in a car and they're driving down the road kind of like in Mad Max and shit, and Hit Girl comes and fucks them all up. So that's like the last action scene. She's cutting off heads and shooting them all in the face while riding a motorcycle. Pretty cool action scene. And then it says that it ends there. Sort of just introduces Hit Girl. So Hit Girl and Kick-Ass don't really fight, so I don't know why they're fighting yet. But
it's issue number one.
It's issue number one, and it's just a lot of action. Kick-Ass, kicking ass, and then Hit Girl kicking ass. And then that's about it. So it was cool. The cool art. It was actually written by Steve Niles. So that's like 2 for 2 this week. I read 2 Steve Niles books this week. And it was a lot of fun. This new Kick-Ass is pretty cool. She's hot as fuck, and she kicks a lot of ass. And then Hit Girl comes and murks a bunch of bikers and shit. Cuts off heads and shit. And pretty cool. I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
Stick to the formula. Yeah, stick to the formula.
Yeah, and the cover, only the cover was drawn by your boy, John Romita.
That's why I stayed away from this book like the plague.
It was only
just look at the cover. I was just like, no.
He's not the artist. Marcelo Frusian is the artist, and Sonny Cho is the color. So he just did John Romita Jr. only did the cover. Because
he drew the original Kick-Ass like first run. And I was like, no, I can't. I'm sorry.
So that was kind of fun. And then I've been reading this book called 7 Secrets. Tom Taylor, his
that's our boy.
His independent book he's doing for Boom Studios. This is sort of like a spy secret society of like knights, like the Knights Templar or something, that hold world secrets safe. They keep them safe from the world. That we don't know what they are, but they have to guard these secrets from ever getting out. And basically, there's like a war going on. Somebody's trying to sabotage it, but it follows this kid whose parents were a part of this secret society, and now he's being raised to become a part of it, training him to be this, badass warrior and shit. And in this issue, the shit kind of hits the fan. An attack was made. This other faction that wants to let the secrets out and basically expose everything. They make their attack, and a bunch of action happens, and then we learn that the guy leading the attack is the son of the current leader of this organization. Mm-hmm. So it was like, oh shit, kind of an oh shit moment. So yeah, I've been digging. This is issue 4. It's pretty cool. It's Tom Taylor mixing all that drama with really cool action. Like I said, you really get into the characters, this kid and the history with their parents and all the shit that they did. We don't know what these secrets are, but they have to guard them with their life. They can't let them be exposed, but here's this other, these bad guys trying to expose them and shit. So pretty cool. This is issue 4. They haven't lost me yet. I've been reading this. I haven't reviewed it because we've been reviewing so many other books, but
yeah, it's a slow week, so yeah.
Yeah, so I figure I'll finally talk about this book. So yeah, 7 Secrets, Tom Taylor, pretty cool. 4 out of 5, and I'm booked out. That's my last book.
Last thing I want to talk about, because before we go, here we got, who is this?
LBT James.
LBT James. Hey, do you too?
Yeah. How you doing, man? Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Thanks for dropping by. What are we gonna talk about? Oh, remember we were talking about the Wolverine controversy that Twitter had been blowing up on? Somebody chimed in on this that I wouldn't expect. I just saw this today. Reggie Hudlin saw this.
Okay.
Somebody brought it to his attention. And this is what he said. If I known they were going to do it like this, I would have had the Child of Smash Sue Storm. I just had to bring that in. I'm just glad he chimed in on that one. So, oh man, oh shit. What are we talking about? Okay, so I think that's it. I think last thing we're gonna talk about Benny the Butcher before we get out of here.
Oh shit, yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk about it. Honestly, I didn't want to talk about it, but since last time we got to talk about another left to talk about, we'll talk about Benny the Butcher. Apparently, he did get shot today in Texas. There's a shitload of rappers got shot in Texas this weekend.
Yeah, man. Texas is wilding out, man.
Like, what the hell? He got shot at Walmart.
Yeah, like, they tried to steal it. Like, he was coming out of Walmart, and they pulled up and wanted his chains or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, like Boosie got shot. One of his mentees or his understudies got killed. Somebody else got shot. I think he worked for Wild Now, some shit like that. But like every rapper has got shot. Don't be a rapper this weekend in Texas.
Yeah,
you will get shot. So, yeah, that's all we got to say about that. But yeah,
Benny Butcher, he's part of the
Grisella,
yeah, and Conway the Machine.
Conway the Machine.
He was shot, and he got shot in, but not. I mean, this is years ago, but he's been shot in the head, and his face is paralyzed and shit. Like, damn, man.
I never say nothing can happen in Griselda, man, because all those dudes got those cool last names: Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine. Where it's like they sound like fucking X-Men villains, man. I just like those guys, man. But they showed him on TV. He was getting on. He had a crutch. He was crutched, but he said he was fine. He was going to airplane, getting the fuck out of Texas. So yeah, so he's fine. So we're gonna get some more music from Benny the Butcher. Matter of fact, we're gonna end the show with the Benny the Butcher song. Maybe Griselda. Don't know. We'll figure it out. If you say there's no good music out there, listen to them. Yeah. We put the stamp on Griselda.
Yeah. Bully approved.
Yeah, bully approved. There you go. So
and I'm a metalhead. Remember, I'm a metal guy. So
right. That's when I saw you quoting his Benny the Butcher lyrics. I'm like, wait, what? Like
he's got that one. EP that came out like earlier this year, or like maybe
I think like last year,
like
but he got a new one out this year. He got a new one out like last month. That last one, yeah, like all the Griselda dropped like at the same time.
They
like,
just keep putting. They did always putting out shit, man.
I didn't know they was signed to Eminem.
Yeah. I just
not
found
anymore. They left. So
yeah, they got their own shit, but yeah,
maybe Eminem shot him. I don't know. Leave my record label. Shoot. Yeah. Like I said, next week I think is next week Thanksgiving or a week after Thanksgiving?
Week after. Next week I think is the Star Wars holiday special coming up.
Oh.
Yeah, tomorrow. It drops tomorrow, or no, Tuesday. The 17th. It comes out on the 17th. So Tuesday, the Star Wars Lego holiday special comes out.
Disney Plus, right?
Disney Plus.
Okay, I got Disney Plus. I'll watch it. We will review it. We'll talk about it. So hopefully some better books come out this week. I don't want to talk about Taskmaster / Deadpool 2. I just feel like Deadpool's going to show up in this book somewhere eventually, But yeah, like I said, if you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. We got other podcasts. Listen to This Geeks and Comics. If you heard me butcher these X-Men books that just came out, go listen to Gomer talk about it. He'll take you all the details and the insights and all that shit that I don't feel like being bothered with. Go listen to OK Boomer. They're going to talk about all the greatest comics of 1952 or whatever books they got going on. I don't know. Shit, I don't even know if anybody else is a thing. I think that's it.
5-minute reviews and
5-minute AKA David is back.
He was. Yeah, I saw that today.
Yeah. Gomer is so happy about this shit. I'm so glad Gomer has AKA David. I'm so tired of him introducing the show as I'm Gomer, and this is not AKA David, whoever the fuck this guy is. Oh yeah. So like I said, we'll announce all the other podcasts. Oh, and the other one, the one we all got, the top 5.
Oh yeah, that's part of This Geeks and Comics, though, isn't it? Isn't it like a faction?
Really. It's
of that,
like I thought it's a.
Is that it? The top 5 is just its own thing.
I think it's its own thing. Yeah, we'll talk to Gomer about it. I think it's its own thing. But it's
why
just
is he
like
using the same theme song? Then you got to change his theme song.
We got to talk about that copyright infringement. But yeah, we'll talk about it. Figure it out. Eli, I got my list. I just made my list a couple days ago.
I'm still trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to decide my last one. I got 4 of them down. I got my last one to pick.
Okay, so now that AKA David has returned, we can get this show on the road because Gomer just put everything to a halt until his sidekick comes back. So shit, now he's back. We can do this shit.
Yeah.
So, and Gomer, I know you listen to this, or you're probably not listening to this. I want in on that Matrix Criterion Collection thing.
What is that?
He don't know.
I want in on that. He has
to plan. Well, fuck, we can all get on that, right?
Get in on that. Yeah, I told you I'll talk some shit about the Matrix.
Yeah, Gomer, get a schedule together, man. Let's go ahead and knock this shit out, shit, or something. Enough shit on Gomer. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.